Hey guys, welcome back to JR14. Here I am with another video for you guys today. Now, if you remember the couple of videos ago, I actually did my 70,000 mile review on Project Mark 7. And if you didn't see that video, click in the upper right hand corner of the screen. In that video, you will see and you will hear that I specifically said that I'm going to do a video on upkeep of basic maintenance on Project Mark 7. So you're going to see me do that today. Now, if you actually want to see the full ways of actually doing part piece by piece, then I suggest you check out Shop.app and Deutsch Auto Parts on their YouTube channel. They pretty much have all the videos on the DIYs on how to do all of this. But today we're going to be changing the oil, adding washer fluid because I got an annoying warning light on my dashboard. We're actually going to be changing the windshield wipers to the front and the rear hatch. We're also going to be changing the serpentine belt as well, and we're going to be changing the cabin filter and spark plugs. So without further ado, let's jump into it because it's absolutely freezing in here in New York, being 25 degrees right now, and I'm cold. So let's get started. Alright guys, so the first thing that we're going to be doing with this is the most difficult part. I've done everything else except the serpentine belt. I know it's easy to get it off, however it's a little bit difficult to stretch the belt back on. This only has a crankshaft, AC compressor, and I believe it's an alternator, and that's the only things that it channels throughout this time. So you know what, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start on the serpentine belt. So the issue that me and Mike are kind of having right now.
Mike ain't having no issue.
You are having an issue because the belt would have been off by now. So it's really hard to like.
That hard.
Well, you know what it is too. I have a oil catch can here. If this was removed, we would have more space. You want me to remove this?
No, I got it, Jay. The belt is coming off.
I mean, there's a couple of cracks and tears in it. I mean, but it's not. It's in really good shape, Mike. I don't even think I need to change it. What do you think? Think we should just continue using this?
Don't you have a new belt already?
Yeah.
What's the point of keep using the same old belt?
I don't know. If we don't have to use it right now, then why? Well, let me look at it. When we're looking at the belt, I don't know if you guys can see this, but when I checked the belt and I inspected it at 60,000 miles. And it looked fine, but even at 70,000 miles, when Volkswagen recommends at 60,000 at least check it and replace it, this is in really good shape. Well,
Nah, I feel the difference though.
Well, this is the outside of it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, what? Oh, okay, no, he's got.
But what goes on the outside? You gotta think about it. All of the pulleys that have a flat, all the pulleys that's completely flat going on the outside.
Yeah.
All the pulleys that have grooves going on the inside.
Well, I'm gonna save this just in case, if for whatever reason if this doesn't go well, I have the original belt. So I'm not getting rid of it.
I don't think you have a problem with either one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, this is in pretty good shape. So we found a new belt. I'm not going back with a Volkswagen belt. This is actually a Continental belt. You know, Continental's a pretty good product. You know, they make tires, but they also do make serpentine belts and V belts for all your specific vehicles as well. So here it is, and I'm just gonna inspect it, making sure it's like around the same size, which overall it looks like, just to before we go ahead and stick the belt back on here. The only type of wear I see that's pretty pronounced is the outside. So this is where the tensioner rubs against. I mean, it's pretty glazed over, but I mean, as far as the belt itself, oh, there's a little crack in it. Here we go. So there's some cracks in it. So like, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's some cracks in this belt, and there's like material in it. There's like dirt and material in it too. So, all right, well, we're gonna go ahead and replace it with the new belt anyway. If I have any issues with this belt, I can use that belt as a backup. So the good thing about this, what I would recommend you doing when at 70 or 60,000 miles, whenever you decide to change your belt, inspect it, and if it's not that bad, go ahead and change the belt anyway and keep it as a spare. Or you can keep this belt on and have the new one as a spare, just your preference. Me, I'm really weird about this type of stuff, so I just prefer changing it and getting it over with, so this way I don't have to worry about that service because I did it. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I'm gonna take you in a little bit. So as you can see, we put the new belts on. What you wanna do, you wanna make sure that all the ridges are on first before starting the car, because as Paul said in his video, if you don't do this correctly, then the belt will fly off and you end up tearing it up or damaging other things. So you gotta wanna make sure that's done first. But now we're gonna move on to spark plugs. All right, so these are the plugs we're using. So uranium power, it's the IKH24 5346. These are the plugs for the Mark 7. You wanna gap these. You wanna gap these to about 0.024 or 0.0024, whatever the number is. But I have a tool here. I have my gap tool right here to go ahead and gap these plugs, so we can go ahead and put them in the car. But the first thing that we're gonna do is actually what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna gap these first so I could just simply swap them as I'm going. It's a lot easier that way. It's freezing out here. I don't wanna be out here all damn day. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that first. All right, so we gapped all 4 brand new spark plugs. We're gonna go ahead and now they're all it's 0.024 for the spark plug. So we did all that. They're all gapped properly. So now we're gonna go in the engine bay and take out the old ones. We're gonna do a quick time lapse of this so we can get them out of the way. I did everything in regards of trying to get the spark plugs out. I took all the bolts off, everything I needed to get out. Oh my God, I started this car without the grounds.
I mean, hey, right?
Oh my God, I didn't even realize that. Okay. Okay, there's no power going to them. All right, so I did all that. I just realized that. I'm having an issue with these clips. Obviously it's cold, so the plastic is very, very brittle right now. I broke one of them already. It shouldn't be a big deal. So this is a pain in the ass. I'm sorry to curse, but it is a pain in the ass. So we're gonna put some heat on them now. Only thing that we have to do is the cabin filter on the inside. I'm gonna save that for last, and we have to put windshield washer fluid in. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the windshield washer fluid in. Then we're gonna address this issue with the spark plugs so we can get this car done. Like I said, spark plugs are already gapped. I just have to take them out. It's the most simplest thing. And Volkswagen makes these stupid clips that you cannot get out in the cold, and it's annoying. Alright, so after a long struggle with those clips on the coil packs, I finally got the spark plugs changed. Now we're going to go ahead and change the oil. So we got all the oil in there. Now we're going to go ahead and change the drain plug and everything. Well, not the drain plug, I'm sorry. The oil filter with a man filter. And we're going to go ahead and put fresh oil in it. Alright, so got the new filter in. Gonna go ahead, put it back in the car. Make sure you grease up that O-ring. You gotta replace this O-ring, and then you're gonna go ahead and put the new filter in. Nice and secure. You're gonna hear it pop in, which we already did. I'm gonna screw it back in place. And we're good to go. Don't have to have it crazy tight either, just snug. And that's it. Okay, and we're done with that. So the next step that we're going to be doing we're gonna be using this. I use 5W40 in my car. You know, they say it's, you know, Rove recommends that you use this. And you know, shout out to them, you know, that, you know, they wanted me to try this stuff out, and this stuff is pretty good so far. I mean, I had no issues with it. 5W40 instead of the recommended 5W30. It's not that much of a big difference, so it should be pretty good in regards of viscosity. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put this in the car. Got it. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pour this in the car. What a day so far. So now we're gonna go ahead and do this and change the pollen cabin filter. Everything's gonna spill out of your glove compartment when you do this, so it sucks. But so after making a big mess, finally was able to get the cover off. Now about to pull out the filter itself. Here we go. Ooh, so as you can see, this is pretty dirty, so that's junk. And then we need to know what the orientation is, so you want the arrow to be facing down on this. So I'm gonna take our new one we got here. All right, and this is the charcoal one, so it keeps the odors out too. So all I need to find is the written part, airflow, arrow up. So slide it in its place. If it will go, which it will. All right, and that's pretty much it. And then we just put this back together and then we're good to go. All right, so the last thing that we're gonna do is that we're gonna change out the wipers. So we're gonna start off with the rear one, very easy. Just push this button down here, take the old one off, and just swap it with the new one. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. All right. Slide the old one off, that's garbage. Slide the new one in place. Well, first, take this plastic trim off. You don't pull it, you slide it. And slide that in place. And that's it. So that's the rear one. Let's go to the front one real quick. So that's good to go. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and put the wipers in service mode so we're able to work on them. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so now we have them in the service position, so we can go ahead and start working on replacing these blades. We'll start with the biggest one, which is always on the driver's side. Very easy to do, not difficult at all. Take the button, slide them off, put the new one in. Careful not to pinch your fingers on this. There we go. All right, that one's in. Now we're gonna do the smaller one. Put the button here. Close this door. Okay. That on the hood. Replace it. And now the windshield wipers are replaced. Just want to give a quick special shout out to Deutsch Auto Parts, where you can get for all your Volkswagen and Audi needs in regards of maintenance products that you can buy. Also, they do sell different service kits for oil, DSG services, stuff like that, so you can do that. Also, I want to give a special shout out to Rove Motor Oil. They actually provided the oil for the car, and the oil's been great. It's been fun. It's been had no issues with viscosity at all, but so far so good. Well, that's going to conclude this video for JR14. My camera's about to die, so I'm going to do my outro right now, and it's still light outside, so yay. I just want to give everyone, just want to say thank you for watching this video on maintenance things that you can do with your project, with your GTI Mark 7. If you do have any questions, please leave them in the comment box down below, and make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to JR14. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up, and also hit that notification bell. And remember, guys, this is when you can work on your own car and get it done correctly, and make sure that wow, I was gonna actually use Tavares wrench every day. But my motto is, remember guys, cars are a lifestyle. Take care.